and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I thought I would do something a little bit different and hopefully something that I also hope you'll find exciting and interesting. Now some of you might have already seen this if you follow me on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, or my Twitter, because I've mentioned it back in August when I did this. But back in August, I was invited to the Lush Factories in Poole to have a factory tour. So for today's video, I thought I would talk to you a little bit about my experience there. I also managed to get some footage of my time there as well. So I thought I would just narrate it into a vlog with little bits of me talking about the experience and what it was like going to the factories and seeing how they made all the products. So let me first of all talk you through why I went there, because a lot of people have been asking me why I went to the Lush Factories and what was my reason for going down there. Was it just for a factory tour? Was I just being shown around the factories? And the answer to that is no, that wasn't the pure reason why I was down there. That was coincidental, and that was after the initial thing that I did with Lush. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you might already know that I work for Lush. I did a whole entire video on this topic as well, about the topic of me working for Lush. I'll link it above my head right now, or it will also be linked down below as well if you're interested. So I work for Lush, but not only that, I live with a severe visual impairment, so I am severely sight impaired, and sometimes that can be difficult when you're working in retail, especially for things like working on the tills. Now, I had been very lucky because on one particular day where I was working in store, there was someone who was from the recruitment team who was helping us out for that week. And I was talking to him about my thoughts about the accessibility of the tills and how I'd like it to be improved. And it just so happens that Lush at that time were developing their new till systems that they're going to be rolling out to all stores very soon. And basically, I gave them some of my ideas. The person who I was talking to went away, spoke to the team who were dealing with the till systems, and lo and behold, about a day later, they said to me, we'd like to invite you up to Poole to work on these new till systems, to give your feedback on about how they can be made more accessible with the new system that we're working on. Alongside that, I was able to have a factory tour, which was so super cool. But I think for me, it was just such a privilege to be able to go to Lush to work on the till system with them and to help them develop it for people with visual impairments and disabilities like myself. And I think it's really encouraging to see that, because I work for a company that I love, but now I've seen them actually take a real interest in trying to develop new services that will help their employees with visual impairments and disabilities. It's really encouraging for me, and I think it just reiterates why I chose to work for that company. It was a real privilege for me to go and help them develop this system, and I'm so excited to see it being rolled out, because I honestly think that some of the new features that are going to be implemented on this system are going to be so helpful for people who've got visual impairments or new employees with visual impairments that will work at Lush. So I'm so grateful for that, and I was able to help them with that. Now, I couldn't vlog certain aspects of my trip, including my time at the head offices when I was working on the till systems, because of the fact that there were all the new Christmas products and Halloween products out on display, and they hadn't actually been showcased at that point, and they hadn't actually gone live yet. So I wasn't allowed to vlog certain things just because of that reason. However, if you are interested in any of the products that are coming out for Christmas and Halloween, I did go to the Lush showcase, which I was invited to go by Lush again because of my work on the till systems, and I vlogged everything there, and you can see a lot of the Christmas and Halloween products that they're bringing out on that vlog. So I'll link that down below, and again, links above my head right now. But without further ado, let's talk about the factory tour. Now, the tour started very early in the morning. We got up about 6 o'clock in the morning to get picked up for about 8 to be at the factories for 8:30. Now, when I got there, I didn't realise the sheer vastness of the factories. Now, I knew that they'd be big, obviously, because they make a lot of products, but the fact is, the factories are huge. So huge, in fact, that they have different sites. So you actually have to walk from one part of the factory to another, and one part of it you actually have to drive from Poole over to another part of the factory to actually see the products being made. So the sheer vastness of these factories really shocked me, because they were huge. They were absolutely massive, and the smell hits you right away. So you imagine you're walking into a Lush store, times that by 1,000 when you're going into a factory. That's what it smells like. Now, first of all, we went into the soap factory, which was really cool because you got to see all the products being made, the cold compressed soaps, the oils being mixed together and then being made in the moulds, and also them being cut into pieces. Now, again, because of the fact that there were lots of Christmas products out on show, I couldn't vlog a lot of it because they were making lots of things for the showcase, so I wasn't actually able to vlog a lot of that part of the factory, just because of the fact that lots of it was incognito. It was so cool to see how they made everything, how they mixed the oils together, how they added them to moulds, and how they actually went from one process to another. And I think what was also interesting is that every single person has a particular role. Now, I knew this already working at Lush, that everything is handmade, everything is made by hand. There is the minimal amount of machinery involved. A lot of the things that you will see, that you will buy, have been made by human hands. So naturally everybody's got a particular job. So someone will be doing the cutting, someone will be doing the mixing, someone will be doing the moulding. Everybody has got a particular job that they will be allocated to do. So when they are saying it's handmade, it is literally handmade. Now, after the soap factory, we then moved on to the fresh factory. Now, this was one of my favourite parts of the tour because it's where they were making all the fresh products, including the fresh face masks. Now, I love the fresh face masks. They are one of my all-time favourite things to buy from Lush, and I cannot recommend them enough if you've not tried them. And the cool thing about this part of the factory is that everything is made fresh on the day. So the stores will order the products that they want in and the face masks, and they'll be shipped overnight to the designated stores. And what was really interesting was that you got to see everything being made fresh and all the raw ingredients. So there was someone mixing the bananas to add into Otifix. There was the kaolin being mixed to add to masks like rosy cheeks, for example. So it was really interesting because you actually got to see everything in its raw form, and obviously everything that goes into the fresh face masks is natural and raw. So natural raw ingredients like cacao powder and kaolin and bananas and berries and different kinds of fruit like lime and different spices. So everything you see in that part of the factory is raw ingredients that they're working with. We're just at the bit where they popped the face masks and I'm about to have a go. What was also cool about it was that I got to have a go at potting the face masks. Now, these people in the factories make it look so easy. They're just like doom 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 doom. They're so quick at it. But in actual fact, it's not easy. I really struggled trying to pot these things because it's a really swift process. Even though there's a machine doing part of it for you, you have to move really quickly. And I was potting up the Catastrophic Cosmetic, which is a really runny face mask because it's made with a lot of berries, so it's quite liquidy, and I did a very bad job of it. So I'm really sorry to the guys at Lush. If you had to waste that off because of me, I profoundly apologise, and I swear to God, I will never work in that part of manufacturing in Lush ever because I am terrible at it. I am absolutely diabolical at potting face masks. And what was also really cool about this part of the factory tour was that there was all the different boxes with the different stores, and it had all the products that were going to be shipped to them overnight to appear the next morning. And lo and behold, my store was there. So they passed me a marker pen and let me write a little message on the inside. So when the people who were working on that delivery shift went to the store that morning to start unpacking everything, they opened the box and discovered my message. Oh my God, so right, this is the box that's going to be delivered to my store in Bromley, so I'm going to write them a little message. What am I going to write? Hi, guys. It's
nothing rude or
Emily. And on this one, you can do it. Please excuse my bad handwriting, I'm registered blind, so I think I'm forgiven. I'm at the factory. Sorry. So I thought I'd say hello. And then, yeah.
I'm sure they'll see it.
So we're now about to go into the Lush kitchen where they make all the exclusive products that you get on the website. This is just too cool. It's just seeing all the products, like all the exclusive things as they're made and as they've been made is just really, really, really cool. We then moved on to the kitchen. Now the Lush kitchen is where they make a lot of their exclusive products that are sold online. So if you've ever bought anything from the kitchen, it's basically where they have things that are limited edition, they're exclusives, or you can't no longer buy them anymore, and they'll sell them on the website, and that's where they make a lot of their exclusive things. So we saw a lot of the things that they were bringing out that particular week that they were making. You got to see the whole kitchen in full, and it was really interesting to see how they were making the different products. And you also got to see the way that they monitored things on social media. There was an absolutely massive board up there where they were monitoring all the different posts that were coming up and different products that people were talking about, and that's a big way of how they decide upon how things are made and what products they're going to make for that week. So if you ever have a product from Lush that you miss and you want them to bring back on the kitchen, then it's worth suggesting it to them on their Twitter page, because they do look at their feedback and what people are requesting, and they take that into account when they make products. So for example, I requested grass, as did lots of other people, and they brought it back for a week, and oh my gosh, I got 2 bottles of it. I was so happy. So it's always worth requesting things on the kitchen. If there's ever something that you want to see come back, request it. You never know, it might rock up that week. So we're now in the bubble bath section where they make all the bubble baths, and we're just having a little look round now. Oh my god, so many good smells in here. Literally you can smell everything. It's amazing. So after that we then moved on to the bubble bath section of the factory, which was where they were making all of the bubble baths like Comforter and Creamy Candy, Blue Skies and Fluffy White Clouds, and so on and so forth. And what was really cool was the way that they made things like the Comforter. So what they do is they take 2 sheets of the ingredients that they use to make the bubble bath with, so the actual mixture of the bubble bath, they roll it up like it's like a Swiss roll, and then they start to cut it and prepare it. Now this part of the tour was a bit more interactive because you could get more hands on and you could try and make things yourself. So I've got my gloves on and I'm just about to have a go at making the Comforter bubble bath, and let's hope I don't absolutely sabotage this, so then wish me luck. Now I had to go at cutting and moulding the Comforter bubble baths, and actually it was really hard again, and I almost at one point cut the poor person's fingers off who was trying to teach me. So again, I do not think I will be in any rush to go and become a manufacturer for Lush in their factories, because I would do such a bad job of it. Hey, look how neat these ones are, and then look at mine. This is why I should not be working in the factories in the retail bit. I sell them, I don't make them. And let me just tell you, the smell of the bubble bath section was absolutely phenomenal. It just smelled absolutely incredible. It just smelled like pure heaven in there. And also we also saw how they were making hair products as well, so the hair oils and a lot of the solid products as well, which was really interesting to see how they made those, how they actually boiled the ingredients together, and all the different processes to making the different products. So you really see how much time and effort goes into making products, and everything has a specific time because everything's got very different ingredients in it, and obviously everything's going to have different drying points, different setting points, and everything will set at a different time. So you could have one product that sets in 2 hours and one that takes a significantly longer period to set. So I think it was really interesting to see how everything has a particular format to making it, and how there's so much precision and timing to getting the products right, to making sure that they are made to the best of their possible standard. So this is all the sleepy, oh my god, all of that is sleepy. Look how much of it there is. There's so much sleepy body lotion. The next part of the tour was definitely one of my favourite parts and the most fun part for me, and it was the bath bomb section. Oh my gosh, this section smelled absolutely incredible. So when we went into the bath bomb section, I had to leave Unity behind in the office area with someone to look after her, just because there'd be so much dust everywhere and it wouldn't really be fair to the dog to be brought into that situation. So she stayed behind and was dog sat by someone who absolutely loved that job. They were clearly delighted to be dog sitting for that next half an hour, and we went off to make products and have a look around the bath bomb factory. Now I had to go at making a bath bomb myself, which was actually really cool, and I made the Secret Arts bath bomb. Now this is a jelly bomb, so it's basically made using seaweed, which is really softening for the skin. Secret Arts is made using 2 different colour powders. So the first one on the outside is the black powder, which they use in a mould, and then you have to put inside of it a little purple part, which obviously comes out as the actual jelly melts away in the bath. And it's a really unique combination because it does fizz, but then the use of the seaweed properties in it makes it actually melt. So it's an interesting process because as it fizzes, it starts to melt as well. So you get a really interesting, really silky combination in the water, and they're really moisturising. Now, when I was making these bath bombs, I was rubbish at the first attempt. I made a really bad job of it.
So yeah, take some powder, a little bit in there.
And then
Yeah,
go
we'll put a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'll make like a hole. Yeah, and I'll put that in there.
Sideways.
Yeah, that's it. And now we need to like cover it
Big
with
heat.
some powder.
You have to try and like do your hand to keep it there.
Oh, right.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, do you need more or?
Maybe. How much you got on the other side? Yeah, you can use it from that side and the other one. That'll be right.
Okay, now with this side, just put it on the top and push it. There we go.
Your insert's gone a bit skewed.
Oh no!
It's alright, let's have a look.
No!
You can have it like that, it's fine. It's unique.
But then after about 2 attempts, I started to get a little bit better at it and I got used to doing it. We also had to go at making a few other ones, but they were Christmas ones, so at the time I couldn't film any of them, but they were really fun to make as well, and it was so interesting to see all the new ones that were being made and how they were made. And I think the bath bomb factory was really fun because you got to see all the different coloured powders that were being used in the different bath bombs. It was so vibrant and fun, and we also got to have a go of demoing a few different bath bombs ourselves as well, which was really cool. And I think definitely for me, the bath bomb section was one of my favourite parts of the factory tour, just because it was so interactive and you could have a little go at making the products, which was really, really fun. So then we moved on to the gift section of the factory, which was where they were preparing a lot of their gifts that they sell in the stores. Now, I couldn't film certain parts of this tour again because of the fact that they were making Christmas products, but I did have a go of wrapping one of the gifts up myself, which was really fun. But I think it was really inspiring to see how much preparation and work goes into making these products that I not only sell but also buy. The final section we visited that day was the dairy section. Now, the dairy section is kind of a miscellaneous group of products, so it tends to be things like hair care products, body care products. It's things like Happy Joy conditioner, American cream, and so on and so forth. And I loved this section because you got to see these absolutely massive steaming vats that were full of the products being made, and it was really, really cool because it kind of reminded me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in the inventing room, when all the massive steaming vats are churning together all these really wonderful concoctions. And I kind of felt a little bit nostalgic, like I'd stepped into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It was that kind of thing, and I think anyone who's a Lush fan would feel like that going to this factory. So anyone who loves Lush, going to the factories is pretty much like going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. You feel like Charlie Bucket when you go, it's that kind of feeling. And you've got to see these absolutely humongous containers full of things like American cream and Happy Joy, all the different things that were being made, and it was so cool to see the sheer amount of work that goes into these products. So all in all, for me, the trip to the Lush Factories was both enlightening and really fun. It was enlightening because I got to see the sheer vastness and the size of the factory and just how humongous it is and how much work goes into making the products, and the sheer amount of staff that is needed to make each product. How much work goes into a product from start to finish, from sourcing the ingredients and where things are from, to the end product that you get on the shelves and the end product that you will see when you go to buy it. So I think when you next go in Lush, just take a moment to look at a product and just think to yourself, that product would have had to go through such a large amount of work, from sourcing those ingredients from wherever they're from in different parts of the world, from the person who makes the product, the person who actually pots the product or packages it, to the person who actually sends it to you. There is such amount of work that goes into each product. It shows you just how much Lush cares about the products and that they do actually stand by what they believe in. Their products are handmade, and they are made really well, and they are made by real life people, and hands make them. They're not made by machines, real life hands make them, from moulding the bath bombs to spraying the bath bombs, creating the face masks to potting them. Everything is made by hand, and that was what I really loved about the factory tour. And it was also fun because I got to have a go at making these products myself by hand, so you never know, you might have bought something that was made by yours truly. I had an absolutely amazing time, and I hope you found this video interesting and it showed you a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes to making the Lush products and what actually goes into making them. So that's all for this video today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you're new as well, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!